Liberians in and out of Liberia by sharing their successes, challenges, entrepreneur endeavors, and much more with the intent to inspire other upcoming changemakers. The 1847 show also promotes the Liberian culture by creating a space for individuals to learn the history of our nation, to find solutions to problems that affect our country today. For this and much more, stay tuned for all things Liberian. We'll be right back after this short break.
Hello, my name is Grace Choma Baba, founder of Destiny Creative Organization and owner at Janice's Snacks. You are watching the 1847 show. The 1847 show celebrates you, me, and all things Liberian. Follow the 1847 show on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. The 1847 show, all things Liberian.
Whether they like it or not, I'm top 5 minus 4, set up the top. Don't let me get in my zone, I'm here to sit on my throne. Nigga, I'm back, grinding hard in the booth. I ain't got time for my phone, I'm on the clock. If you ain't coming with the vibe, then you a hater chasing cloud. Use that fresh cut, new kicks on. Chest up, King Kong. I'm popping now, man, I'm on one. Lose my number, bitch, move on. I brought him out of, you know, see me automatic, but I know I got it when it comes to eating rap. But I'm an addict when I spit it, parcel coming down. When I come outside, I get in everybody starting with the ones who live it. I mean, the thing, they go bottom in the irony, you could have different, but I mean, you wanna be steady, my flow. I'm petty, that won't let go. You modified, fear in the rise, like it's in the ghost. Like it, oh nah, I'm on fire. My flow, fire. My swag, fire.
Welcome back. You're watching the 1847 show, and this is season 1, episode 19, which is part of our series called Entrepreneurship Essentials. This series is dedicated to unraveling the secrets of successful entrepreneurs by sharing real stories aimed at empowering young entrepreneurs to take actionable steps to excel in the dynamic world of business. Entrepreneurship in Liberia holds immense promise, offering a pathway to economic growth, job creation, and reduced income inequality. It is a catalyst for innovation, which will help enhance our nation's resilience in a rapidly changing world. Moreover, entrepreneurship empowers individuals, attracts foreign investment, and fosters self-resilience, which positions Liberia on a path towards a brighter and more prosperous future. Our guest today is Mr. Augustus Gwan, who is the notable, figure in Liberia. He is the founder and CEO of Lab Sportswear, where he dominates the sports industry as his company produces kits for almost all sporting leagues in Liberia. Mr. Gwan is also making significant contributions to his foundation, the Gwan Foundation, which focuses on educational programs. As an entrepreneur and philanthropist, Mr. Gwan is dedicated to promoting positive change in Liberia. Today, we will explore his multifaceted journey and impactful initiatives celebrating his commitment and business, education, and humanitarianism. So right now, we'll welcome our guest. But before we do, if you're watching, please make sure to, of course, follow the page. We have more great content here for you today. And the video that you saw earlier of the artist singing. That's an artist that we're featuring on. His name is Bosco, and that song is called Like It or Not. So if you can go and check it out, he's on all social media pages. And then the flyer that we showed you is an upcoming program hosted by the TIA Innovative Tech. And that's something that it's a online program. He's based out of China. If you want to apply for that, if you're an IT person, you can go ahead and do that. You have until Saturday, November 18th. But anyway, Mr. Gwan, how are you? Welcome.
Thank you very much, Prince. I'm so grateful to be on your platform today. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. Is there a way you can adjust, because the angle, we're seeing a lot of the table and a little bit of you. Is there a way you can adjust the camera a little bit?
To closer or
Closer, if possible. Or yeah.
Aren't you seeing me?
I think that's fine. Yeah. That's better. So my
Okay,
man,
okay.
you grew up in San Nicolas selling dry goods. And that's where you currently are in Nimba County. Can you tell us a bit about your childhood? How is it like being born and raised in San Nicolas?
It was a unique experience growing up in San Nicolas. I was born in San Nicolas from childhood, from my ABC to 12th grade. I spent all the years in San Nicolas, so it was a good experience. And coming up from a family that believes in business, my mother was a business person, a market woman, and she was also a registered nurse at a later time. And my dad grew up in a certain point, he was an educator, classroom teacher, served as principal for the public school in San Nicolas, that's the San Nicolas Central High School, for many years. So it was a good experience growing up and trying to experience so many things, and always going in the market, trying to help my family from that side of selling. I used to go every morning, Saturday morning, go in the market with the wheelbarrow, try to get the goods from the warehouse, go those dry goods, those slippers and all the different clothes, put them on the table, and it was a good experience actually. It was nice.
Awesome, man. I myself also sold dry goods. I sold pretty much, I sold broom, I sold cookies, I sold
I saw
seafood,
plastic. I used to sell the plastic.
cold
Yeah.
water, everything.
Yeah, I did all those most of those things I did then. Not all, but I did most of them. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Would you say doing that is
Uh,
part of
uh,
what? Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. And also, after selling those things, after setting the goose up, and sometimes I used to sell. I certain point my elder sister would come and sell the goose, but when I get those things set up and my sister comes and take over, my friend and I used to go take the wheelbarrow, go and do our wheelbarrow ball hustle. At that time, it was just the mind of hustling. We used to go and get people goods and transfer to another destination and get a little money for ourselves. My parents wouldn't allow me to do those things back then. They didn't even know I was doing them. But when you have the mind for hustle, you go beyond and do those things. So I used to do them also.
Right. That's awesome. And those are the traits that follow you into your adulthood and make you
I,
who
I, I,
you are
be,
today.
I believe so. I believe so. Those are things that helped me to get to where I am today.
That's awesome, my man. So besides hustling, you also have other interest in radio broadcasting, and you're very fond of broadcasting. And also, who tell us a little bit about who DJ Gus is, my man?
Yeah, coming up, honestly, let me be honest, I didn't used to like the name DJ.
No.
That's me. At a certain point, I didn't used to like the name DJ. I thought it was some kind of bad name, DJ, whatever. But 2012, I was encouraged by one of my friends when I was in the ninth grade, and he said, "You smart, you good in class, you been doing so well." He was on the radio back then. He was with a radio station in San Nicolas called Radio Sinway. And he said, "I want you to join our station and you can work with us." I said, "I don't really have much interest." He said, "You can try." So I went over. He's might as well quite well. I will appreciate him because the radio also helped to shape my life to the person I'm becoming. So I'm grateful. And he helped me on the way. He encouraged me to get on the radio. So I went to the radio station and I met people there who knew my father and knew me. That's a small community. So it was easy to start something at Radio Sinway. So I didn't when I applied, I didn't go there. It took like a month. He said, but you sent application, you haven't gone to the station yet. Why? I said, I'll try to reach there today. He kept encouraging me. So after I lost my dad, because I lost my dad 2012, that was the 23rd of March in 2012, and
Mm.
I got on the radio for the first time on the 4th of April 2012. So I went on a Wednesday and I was given the opportunity to be on the radio, and it was a unique experience. You on the radio and you just in a room, two persons, but it's like you're talking to thousands of people and whatever.
Mhm.
But we managed to face those things, and actually, it was a good experience. And the radio has helped me a whole lot. I spent about 3 months to radio Nimba and radio Sandway, and after a few months, I think 3 months later, I moved over to Radio Nimba. That's the biggest radio station in Nimba County, where I learned so many things. Yeah, in community radio journalism, announcing, or production, and so many things we did here. So it was a good experience being there, and I'm grateful for all the experiences.
So what happened to those aspirations since you're no longer pursuing that career path? What happened? How did it die down?
And it really, I think it was an opportunity to learn something, to shape my life to something, because actually I didn't plan to become a journalist. It's not a bad thing.
Right. Hmm.
But growing up in a community, I'm not doing anything right after school. I think I used that opportunity to get me basic, to get me used to the school, and after school to also get me doing something, not to just come from school and be in the community doing nothing. And at the end of the day, sometimes you follow bad friends, you do the wrong things in society. So the radio was there to help to mold me to become a better person. So I always took advantage of the opportunity, even though it wasn't a full plan to become a radio journalist. So when I got on the radio, at that moment in Limba, in many parts of Liberia, it was all about the other African songs. So
Hmm.
many African songs. So I tried to see how I can change the narrative in where I was in Sanakole and surroundings, like in Limba County. So I decided to get more involved with the Liberian music instead of just playing the Ghanaians and Nigerian songs. They are not bad, but at that time, we didn't have much Liberian songs playing around here. So I used to go Monrovia on vacation, and when I go visit other radio stations, so many friends at other radio stations, build a network, get some Liberian songs, bring them over, and share with other guys. So that's how the name DJ Goes, DJ Goes. And at that time, I was one of the first Nimba journalists or radio personality that used to go Monrovia and get the connection with musicians. So I started interviewing some musicians little by little till we got to know a lot of them. 2012, 13, 14, 15. So almost all of the top artists along the time, I knew them. Yeah.
So you always been famous, my man.
Not really. Yeah, somewhere I would say so in the Nimba community and some parts of Liberia, but it's been me carrying myself in my own style. And I haven't been the kind of person fighting for fame.
Mm.
Like a lot of people know me today because of Lab, the sports brand. But
Mm.
we've been around, we've been working. That's why somebody asked me, I think he's the CEO of Big Brother Liberia, Big Brother Liberia.
Mhm.
When they came to my office at a certain point, they said, how come, guys, you work with almost all of the Liberian musicians? Some of the guys don't even speak at all, but you managed to work with all of them. I said, I think it's based on my relationship with them, my time on the radio, because when I was on the radio, it was all about selfless promotion. I
Mhm.
didn't have a particular team. I have friends, yes, we could relate, but I was promoting all Liberian music without asking for the cent. And we
Right.
went beyond promoting the music on the radios. I will not announce some of the things I did for some musicians here, but they know what we did before they got his songs. So the friendship has been there, and they don't even ask me sometimes to promote my brand because I promoted it back then. Some of them would just do it as exchange, but they don't ask me. Unlike some of the newcomers, I respect them and they're entitled to be compensated. I
Mhm.
respect them. But most of my guys from back there, 2013, 14, 15, is the friendship that helped to do everything. And yes, it was a good experience.
That's awesome, my man. So fast forward, you went to China, you got your degree in computer science from the I think it's Jai Jinx University of Technology. Now,
Yeah, yeah,
a
yeah.
lot of people, based on your childhood, you selling, and based on your ambitions with the radio industry, well, a lot of people would think that you would do something similar in the university, but you ended up doing computer science. So why not business or entrepreneurship? Why did you study computer science in school?
Uh, my plan to actually leave Liberia started in 2017 when sadly I lost my mother. So I decided to leave the environment actually. I wanted to experience something new and take on new challenge. So later 2018, earlier 2018, I applied for a business course because I was in Stella Maris when I moved from Nimba to Monrovia. I was in Stella Maris. I was studying business management and also in University of UMU, the United Methodist University, where I was studying secondary education and mass communication. So I still had those things in mind and I was still pursuing those dreams. So when I lost my mother, I decided to leave the environment to experience something new and for my own safety at a certain point. So I decided to apply for international trade in economics at the Virginia University of Technology.
Mhm.
But it later came as another thing. When I applied for different process, I got admitted. I got the admission for computer science and technology. That's not a bad thing. I remember when I was growing up, at a very early age, my dad took me to a computer shop in Sunny College just to get connected with computer and acquainted with it. So it's not what I actually wanted to study, even though I have love for it. And we are in a modern world, technology is good. So I decided to take on the challenge. First of all, I wanted to leave because of the situation.
Right.
And I wanted to leave, not just to leave, but for education. So computer science and looking at my society and the environment we find ourselves, I think it's something good with the emerging technology. So it's better I go and take advantage of this and maybe in the future I can make some significant impacts in my community. So I went to China, but that was my second trip to China. I visited China prior to my studies and I got on campus. Very challenging moment, something I would not really want to discuss for this interview, maybe another interview.
Mhm.
And I decided to take the challenge. We went through it, computer science, different from what I wanted to do, but still a unique thing. And time after time, I decided to create more love for computer science. Sadly, when I came to Liberia to sell my brand, the Country jerseys, COVID started. And I managed to stay in Liberia and complete the studies online, even though COVID was still in China and many couldn't continue. Most of my friends they left the process, but I didn't want to let this go because I wanted to achieve this. I wanted to be motivated and also serve as motivation for others, even though it was so challenging to see that I can achieve it. So I managed to stay through the process and we completed the course, all of the courses for the studies, and I'm grateful that I came through successfully and I graduated.
Man, I can't imagine what it's like doing something that you did not originally plan for in a country that does not speak your language. So, very,
Yeah,
very much, amazing that you're even able to go through with it and still get your degree as well. It must be a really proud thing to be able to tell that story. Now, you
yeah.
said two things, and I'm concerned how much impact it had on your life. So losing your mom and your father, your dad first in 2012, you said, and then your mom in 2017, if I heard correctly. How did that shape you to be the man that you are today? Not having those people around you to support you and see how well you're doing. How have you been able to
Uh,
handle it?
I still have them with me. I agree with you. Physically, I don't have them, but I know they're here with me spiritually, and a whole lot of things we are achieving, and we're not just achieving it by ourselves. It's because of their blessings. I'm achieving some of those things, and some things we are achieving. No disrespect to people that got their parents alive, but some people even got their parents alive, they're not achieving it. It's
Mhm.
because of the blessings. So they've been with me. I know there are challenges. There are so many challenges. For example, when I applied for the process, the guy who was doing the study process, he didn't know my family story. So when he came to Liberia and I had to go for the interview, we did it, but I had to pay him a service fee. So somebody from the process told him some of the challenges, and I told him myself can't manage to complete out of your service fee, or even though I've paid some. He decided to for his sympathy with me. But how are you going to survive in China? He didn't even want me to leave Liberia. I don't have money. I don't want to. I didn't want to really discuss this, but I just touch it a bit. So he told me, "How are you going to survive China?" I say, "It's God. God is going to take care of it." So after a week, I got my visa. All of my friends, we got our visa together because he wanted us to leave, and he said, "Good enough. You've been to China before." So we could buy the ticket, like a group ticket, and you all can travel together with the experience and other things. I said, "That's good." He let me down, and most of my friends went. Those are some challenging moments. And I knew that if my parents were here by that time, I would not be let down because of just some little service charge. But at a certain point, he was worrying about me, how I'm going to survive. So after a week, he also asked me again, "How are you going to make it in China?" I said, "It is God." He said, "God, I order up power. You got to get somebody here." Yes. So you have to get a family member, some few family members who are willing to support you. Maybe after every month, maybe 2020, if you collect that from 5 persons, that's $100. It can manage to keep you up in China. But honestly, at that time, I don't know any family member who's going to give me 2020 every month. But I had to take on the challenge to go for the studies. And it took a lot of time, so many challenging moments. When I got on campus, there were some friends who said, "But what Gwan can to do? Gwan better go back. China, what Gwan can to do?" But God has been there, and my parents have been there with me. So we managed to go through. But there are so many challenges here when they're not here. But being here spiritually, I think it's been good, and we've been achieving so many things.
Awesome. And I think kind of like the stories you told earlier with your dad taking you to a computer place to get you familiar with those things, I think they laid the foundation for you and they
Yeah,
laid it very
exactly.
well. And that's what you're
Exactly.
building on now.
Exactly. So many things I'm doing, I think those are things that they showed me at a very early stage. Even with the foundation, the Gwan's foundation, all of the services we're doing comes selflessly, and that's from the life my parents lived. And my dad, he was an educator, but there was so many students who went to that school on his ward, and so many people he sponsored in the school he was teaching. My mom also, she was working at the Comprehensive Health Center in Saclay City. And I can tell you, almost every time I go to visit her, I will see different child at her house. Sometimes some parents, people really suffering in Africa, especially in Liberia. So some parents go to the hospital and they don't have any clothes on the children. Their condition is so bad. So sometimes she will take them, give them special care, even bring them home to her house. She was almost a running orphanage, taking care of those kids. So what they did, what they taught me to do are things that I continue to do. And it's a mission to fulfill three persons' dream. It's not only my dream, that's why I have to work a whole lot. And there are so many things they plan on doing, they didn't complete it. And this happened, but I know with time we're going to complete all of their dreams and fulfill everything.
Awesome, my man. That's a powerful story, and I know for sure you have a personal motivation every day to keep you going despite any challenge that you
Sure,
receive.
sure.
Like you said, there are three people dreams you're trying to fulfill. So even if you want to give up on yourself, you can't give up on the remaining
You
two.
can give on the other two, sure. Exactly.
That's
So we
awesome, my
keep
man.
pushing, yeah.
I
Yeah.
respect that. I respect that. So tell us, when you went to China for your education, at what point did the idea of running a sportswear business come to be?
You see, when I was in Liberia, coming up, business. It's all
Mhm.
been business in my mind. That's why, like I told you earlier on, I was studying business management instead of my race. When I lost my mother, I couldn't complete that. And I also applied to study international trade and economics, but I couldn't manage to get the admission. But I got the admission for the computer science and technology. So I went to China, industrial country, using so many things that can sell in your country. But you have to start with what you can afford, what you have money for to buy and sell. So we actually started with the phone cases, something like this. You see the phone cases with the picture.
Mhm.
So we started with those phone cases, and a lot of people were interested because I'm looking, things can sell from China in Liberia. And I got so many friends on Facebook. You post on your story, but then you get 300 views, 500 views, even some up to 1,000 views. What are you doing with those views? Will you want to go and post beautiful pictures and people just like it and view them? No. You have to use your Facebook page, your story, and whatever, and generate something for yourself. So when I post this, a whole lot of people will view them, come in and order. So we later started our business with about $85. The entire lab started with $85 when it wasn't even named lab. We just started doing something with the phone cases. Later, we decided to do the European club team jerseys, Chelsea, Barca, Real Madrid, and other stuff, send them down to Liberia. And we kept asking God for His direction. Everything we're doing today is God's direction that's keeping us and carrying us through, and we keep doing step by step. So in Africa, I've been a sports person. I love soccer, even though I didn't play very well, play for high school and other stuff, but I didn't play professional football. But I always loved football and always been with Nima County team from 2005, 6. I was a little boy. I used to be around the team in San College. And later on, 2010, 11, I started traveling with the team. When Nima is playing all the counties, I would travel with the team. And it's been a long experience. So even though I'm not fortunate to play football at a professional level, I can get involved into this business that is sports related that always keep me closer to what I love. So thought about the sports brand, and one of the best way to sell it out was the content meet. And little funds, we can't do much. We can't do all of the 15 contests. Where I'm from is Nima content, one of the biggest contests in Liberia. When it comes to the content meet, they always have that huge momentum, so that they decided to do the lab jerseys. And our first production with the lab was the Nima County jerseys. But prior to the one with the lab appearing on it, we supplied jerseys for Nima Kwado when it didn't have this logo, but it was Nima Kwado. It was literally the first jerseys we supplied in Liberia. And Nima Kwado is also from Nima County. It's owned by the businessman, Mr. Thomas Flood. He's the breadbasket of Nima County. And if you can see here, the key sponsor for the team is called Jungle Water. So the Jungle Water Group of Investment CEO, Mr. Thomas Flood Senior, is also the owner of Nima Kwado. And based on a good relationship, we managed to supply the team. And we've been supplying them since 2017 up to present. They are one of our best partners and long-term partners in this business. So after supplying it, I decided to introduce the brand lab to the world. So we did the Nima jersey, try to look for a proper branding, contacted Bucky Raw because my experience on the radio helped me to build a relationship with those guys. Bob Fatih, back then he was very top artist. He's still one of the best artists we have right now in Liberia. Or T Floyd, Pius, and one of two models from Liberia, Nikita and other people. So we got this thing out in the studio. I was there, but I managed to see how we can work it out. Did the shoot and unveiled it out to the public. It went wide. Huge excitement, huge interest from Liberians and other people from other counties. Most of them asked why we don't have their counties, but we had to start from somewhere at that time. So huge pressure down. The demand is high. People want them. That brought me to Liberia. I had to come because my guys on ground couldn't manage to handle everything. So I came on ground to help with the continuous use of the Nima jerseys. And when we entered Lofa, because the first game was the 5th of January 2020, and I came Liberia on New Year's Day 2020. So we left in Lofa, and COVID started. We came back after the group stage. Nima managed to go for the grand finals, and we were defeated by Grand Crew County. And right after the County B final on the 26th of January, I heard that China was locked down. There's no way to enter China. I had to stay Africa. That's how I remained in Africa throughout the period, and I was just continuing my studies online until I graduated. So the dream actually for having the sports brand started, and the inspiration came from my love for sports. Coming back in Liberia when I was a sport lover, and trying to do something that I can get deeply attached with sports. So we did it, and many people received it. So we decided to push forward not only to where to supply Nima County jerseys every season, we managed to work with the Ministry of Youth and Sports to supply all of the 15 counties, and that was successful. So for that 2020-2021 county mid season, we supplied all of the 15 counties for football and kickball. There was no basketball and other sports that season. The following season, we also supplied them with the inclusion of basketball and volleyball. In the third edition, we also reintroduced our track and field. So it's been a gradual process and a good relationship with the Ministry of Youth and Sports. They've been one of the ministries promoting us and supporting our work, because to accept our work and be interested in working with us, we're grateful for that. And so many Liberians. So we decided to also enter the Liberian League. Content meet is played once in a year.
Mm-hmm.
We can only wait on the content meet to be able to work as a brand. So we decided to work with so many other Liberian clubs, not only our partner Nima Kwado. So we managed to get a partnership deal with CC United when it was in the third league. And they are one of the best branded teams in Liberia. So we managed to work and we branded the team, good relationship with the entire team. Mr. Pewala Giant is a good big brother. We've been cool, Bamba, Mika, and all of the people, all of the players too, they've been submissive and been good. So it's been a good relationship, and with the commitment from the players, our very first season, they were promoted from the third division to the second division. And they were one of the teams that spent only one season in the second division, and they were promoted to the first division. As we speak, they entered the first division last season. They managed to maintain, not to be relegated, and they're also doing well in the first division season, league this season. So it's a good experience with them, and we supplied Watanga FC, and we've been able to work with over 14 club teams in Liberia.
Out of how many? 14 out of how many?
Uh, there are many clubs in Liberia in the first and second division league, because I think the first division league has pushed to, I think, 14 to 16 teams. And the second division also has, I think, 12 to 14 teams in the because at a certain point it was 12.
Mm-hmm.
They both leagues, but they try to do some addiction because they wanted many teams to be included. So there are many teams in the league. So in the first division league, we supply so many teams. In the second division also, yeah. But there are so many challenges in working with clubs in Liberia. So many challenges. They have their own challenges, and we face some challenges with them. We just try to be strong to maintain ourselves as a brand. And if it's not the help of God and our hard work, there will be no lab today because it's challenging. Some can be disclosed here, but it's really challenging. Financial challenges. And some teams are struggling. You see a young guy who has love for sports. He has his club team, but he doesn't have the financial support to take care of the team. But they want all of the good outfits. They want to be well branded. And sometimes we go into the deal and some challenges, and it doesn't even work well.
Let's talk a little bit about specifics without mentioning any specific club. So
Yeah, I'm not.
if you let's say for example, I wanted to have my club team and I wanted Lab Sports to produce the jerseys. How does that negotiation work? How much are you guys? How often are you producing jerseys, and how much is it typically cost?
We would love to produce jerseys every day,
Mm-hmm.
but it depends the fan base. Not many teams have huge fan base in Liberia. Only few. In some of the top teams with the top names, they can even be able to sell 500 pieces of jerseys for a whole season. Honestly speaking, that's some of the challenges we have. So all of the teams would love to have their jerseys for the players and the fan jerseys selling around. But the team hasn't been fully branded and received by the audience to be able to sell huge quantity. So there are so many challenges and there are so many different negotiations and deals we have with the clubs. Some clubs paid for them, their players' set of jerseys and the replicas for their fans, and they sell on their own. We negotiate based on the quantity and the price, whatever, we negotiate them. At the same time, there are some teams that, based on our relationship, we supply them the players' jerseys, sometimes pay some discount on it, and then we handle the fans' jerseys and sell them. So we managed to do those things. Most of the time, you go for a whole season, you can even sell 500 pieces. Some teams can try. You see, Nimba Quado is a very big team from Nimba County, and you know the support from Nimba, the Nimba support base. So Nimba Quado sells over 1,000 pieces of fan jerseys every season.
Wow.
They sell their jerseys for themselves. I supply them at a reasonable price, and they sell for themselves. I just bought this right now. I'm supplying them, but I just bought this. I'm in Ganta, so I had to go to the Jackie's Mini Mart, one of the point of sales for the Nima Quado jersey, and I bought it to be on the show, fully attired with the Nima Quado outfit.
So how much does that jersey cost?
This is $15 at other outlets, but when you visit their original store in San Nicolas, it's sold for $10.
$10. Okay.
Yeah,
Now,
so in Ganta it's sold for 50 in other places, but if you're fortunate to go at their media store in San Nicolas, it's $10.
okay. So when you sell it to them, how much do you sell it for? It's like what,
And
7?
based on the quantity, like I said, it based on the quantity, and we also try to do it in a way that's more reasonable for them to be able to generate something, because it's not only done to raise to just sell, but they want to generate something for the upkeep of the team. For them, they are one of the lowest because they're trying to win more fans. You can't try to win fans and maybe sell this for 25. Not many people around here can be able to buy a club jersey for 25. Only a few. So you want to sell the brand out to the people, make it reasonable, and see how you can win their own ball.
Awesome. So one last question before we go on our break here at the midway point. How proud are you when you see people wearing, the teams wearing your jersey, and you see that Lab Sports on there, knowing that your company produced that? What sense of pride does that bring to you?
Uh, it's a good feeling. It's been a good feeling since 2019. I know we've been doing so many things people embrace and they're proud of us. I'm grateful to God for those things. But with this sport brand, when we did the jerseys for Nimba County, that reception from the Nimbayans in Liberia, in the diaspora, like so many people in Canada, in the USA, been calling. And like I said, I came here because of the huge demand, and I managed to bring those jerseys. When I came, so many people received the jerseys and they like it. At that moment, Neymar was hosted in Lofa, like I said, and the Deputy Minister for Sports came. He said, "Why you have this and the team is not wearing it?" At that time, the ministry didn't take responsibility of supplying the contest jerseys.
Mm-hmm.
But that's our environment. Sometimes some things can happen. So some people didn't feel happy going to that deal with us when they saw it, but they knew what it was and they knew how unique it was. And we came on the SKD when Neymar qualified. All over SKD is my jersey. Yeah. I've been so excited from that moment, and that motivated me a lot. And it told me, yes, you got to do something. You got to keep pushing. And we've been doing it every year. We supply the highest number of fan jerseys, even though there are other people trying to be inspired by it in some other way. I would say that and get involved into the business. But since we came into the jerseys business, we've been the highest importer of jerseys in Liberia, and I'm so happy about that.
So who are other competitors?
And there are a few other people, yeah. Some people come with brand. I see those brands. Sometimes you don't see anymore, and some people got their own brand, and some people just do it without brand. To the extent some people even do the lab again. Some people copy lab, and that's it. That's the business. So yeah, you just have to put your craft in the best way and engage the market the best way you can to see how you can generate from your work.
Man, that's crazy. Copying your own Liberia in Liberia, that's to sell it to
Yeah,
who?
to sell it to Liberians, yeah, and that's what been happening. Yeah, many people take action, take action. That's what they say, but
Do you get mad,
uh,
or is it like, oh, I'm honored that you even feel the need to copy my brand? What is the feeling like?
yeah, some things I don't want to say on the media, but I will maybe say just touch it a bit. But I think they've been doing well too. They're seeing it in a way that they're copying that's wrong. They're infringing on the right. You can't do that. That's my intellectual property. But business wise, for certain reason, they've helped to sell us. We were selling, but they've helped to sell us, especially the local ones. Good thing about it, most of them who do those things are selling a very low quality, like the one you call me like the Guinea Jersey. Sorry
Hmm.
to the Guineans, but in our common Liberian setting, that's how we say it.
Hmm.
So they are helping to take the products to the local Liberians who we can reach to for now
Hmm.
based on the limited resources. A lot I can say actually, but it helped to push the brand also. They maintain the lab on it. The people who buy the real lab from us, they know what lab is. But other communities, other villages, you're helping to sell the brand. So it's not so unique, but the promotion you've given to lab, I think we accept it for now until we are until we are further strong ready to handle some other things and stop other things.
Right.
Yeah, but
Makes
it's been a
makes
promotion.
makes sense. So we're at the halfway point of this. We'll take a short break and we'll be right back. But for those of you that are watching and commenting, we appreciate you. In the meantime, feel free to leave a question. If you have any question for Augustus here, you can leave it in the section there. We'll look at it. But if you're not following the 1847 show, we highly encourage you to please follow. We'll take a 2 minute short break and we'll be right back.
Hello, my name is Grace Choma Baba, founder of Destiny Creative Organization and owner at Janice's Snacks. You are watching the 1847 show. The 1847 show celebrates you, me, and all things like you. Follow the 1847 show on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. The 1847 show, all things like you.
Whether they like it or not, I'm talking 5 -4, set up the top. Don't let me get in my zone, I'm here to sit on my throne. Nigga, I'm back. Grinding hard in the booth, I ain't got time for my phone. I'm on the clock. If you ain't coming with the vibe, then you a hater chasing cloud. Use that fresh cut, new kicks on. Chest up, King Kong. I'm popping now, man, I'm on one. Lose my number, bitch, move on. I brought him out, you know, see me automatic, but I know I got it when it comes to eating rough. I'm out when I spit it, parcel coming down. When I come outside, I get in everybody starting with it. Once with it, that I'm in the thing, and they go bottom in the irony. You put it every bottom, and you wanna be stealing my flow. I'm petty, that won't let go. You modified, you're in the rise, like it's in the ghost. Like it, oh nah, I'm on fire. My flow, fire. My swag, fire.
Welcome back to the 1847 show. I'm your host, Prince Larmi Jarbo, and this is season 1, episode 19, which is part of our series called Entrepreneurship Essentials. This series is dedicated to unraveling the secrets of successful entrepreneurs by sharing real stories aimed at empowering young entrepreneurs to take actionable steps. Our guest today is Mr. Augustus Gwan, who is the founder and CEO of Lab Sportswear. Welcome our guest back. Hey, how is it going so far, my man?
Thank you, thank you, thank you. It was unique. The break was necessary.
Awesome, no problem.
Yeah,
So this is
yeah.
about another 20 to 25 minutes, and then we'll wrap it up with the interview today. But tell us, besides your physical stores that you have, you're also planning on opening a printing press. So how does that change your business model and the level of production you're going to be doing? How does that impact your business?
Yeah, we've always been looking up to the growth and growth. Our focus has been growth in the business. When we started, it was done online. We have to post online, selling from home literally. Even our first content meat jerseys and the second content meat jerseys, we sold them from our home. And we decided to get somewhere unique. So we decided to get on the road. We got a place in Congo Town where we covering the stations. But from the beginning of this year, we've managed to work on a new business. We have to do an addition to what we're selling and see how we can incorporate other businesses. It's not only the sports jerseys. We don't have to wait for the content media or the independence and whatever to sell. Yeah, it's growth. And so we decided to get involved with the printing. We've brought many machines in the country already and a whole lot of work being done. I didn't want to say a lot about it, even though I told you, because yes, yeah, I told you a lot about them, but we haven't officially opened to the public yet. We're anticipating December or very early January to open, but we've managed to get so many things. The machines are here, so many equipments here, raw materials for printing, most of the banners, the stickers, but it's a whole print company we want to set up, and we managed to I will not say that part here. Maybe they
So,
let me know.
so is this so this wouldn't just be exclusively printing lab sports items. It's going to be anyone who has business
No,
of printing.
yeah, business of printing. We want to make printing easier. We're bringing that into Pingsville. There are other people printing in Central Monrovia, other people printing in Congo Town, but we're bringing this to Pingsville, and we'll be in Police Academy. So we be printing all lot of large format prints. Some people doing DTF too for their sites. And so many occasions we do the DTF printing. We have the DTF machine. We have the banner printer machine, the 10 feet banner, the 5 feet banners. So we want to also work with local businesses, local printing press around the country because there are some printing press that don't have those big machines and they take their work other places to get it printed. So we want to bring those machines. We've got it here already. We want to set up a business where we can give a very huge discount to the local printing press to see how they can get their work printed there. And so many people who don't even have printing press can come also and do their work at our place. So late December or very early January, we'll be bringing this to the public officially. And we still putting many things together. We will even open now, but we want to come big and better. That's why we're not rushing it.
I understand. So are you guys still going to be importing jerseys from China, or are you trying to produce all your jerseys here?
No, for now, we still we want to design here and produce from China. For now, the printing machines we have will not be producing the jerseys in Liberia. This is something we have plans on, and by the help of God, maybe in the future, the soonest possible time, we might have some of those machines here to be doing some of the work here. Some of the major work when it comes to the jersey production, we might be doing them here. But there are some challenges involved, and there are so many things you need. You have to be so closer to the raw material. Those are things that are stopping us from getting a 40 planter in Liberia.
Right. Okay. So between the stores and the upcoming printing press, you are going to be employing a lot of people. Now, is that one of the things that as you're expanding your business, is it at the forefront of your mind to say, hey, I really want to employ people, so let me expand at a much faster pace. Let's create jobs over here. Is that something that you think about, or does it just happen as a secondary thing to what you're doing?
There's so many people that contact us and contact many people, not only me, for job. There's no much job in Liberia, so many people want to work. And having this, that's why I'm grateful for the growth. With this growth in the business, we also have the opportunity to employ so many other people, not just at once to incorporate many people, but with the growth little by little, we can get many people on board and many people can be working with us. So we brought this company for everyone. Everyone working with us is special. Most of them, I just see them as brothers. We may not be biological brothers, but as all of them as brothers and sisters, and they've been working so hard. They are the source of our growth right now. They're one of the key factors to where we are. So we appreciate them, and they are also helping to create opportunities for other people to be employed, because once the business grows through their help, we can have the opportunity to incorporate many people, to employ many people to work with us. But we have that at the back of our mind that we need to manage to see how we can help with the level of unemployment, to see how we can help from our end to cut some down.
Awesome. So for now, from since you guys started and up to now, how many people overall do you think that your company has employed?
Uh, Officially to be with us like on an everyday basis, we have about 6, 8 persons. Not much, but there are some people who come on a part time. They content meet those who got experience at our shop during the content meet. The place can be so packed. So there are some people who come during the content meet to just help to assist us, or during the independent sales when we have basic sales like that. So those people when they come and go, we can include them. If we're including them, we'll be saying we have about 15 people. Because many people can come to help even with the cutting of the letters, some people helping with the pricing of the jerseys, some people helping to interact with the customers because the place can be jam packed.
Hmm.
But at the moment, we have just about 6 to 8 persons actively with us in Police Academy in Congo Town.
And then the printing press, would that see an inclusion of more people, or is it are you accounting for that already?
We have to get other people there. You have to have a graphic designer, one or two. We need
Do
people
you
to
have
be on the.
somebody in mind for your graphic designer? Because I have a good person that
Uh,
I can recommend,
uh,
and you can interview him.
we got somebody we've been working with. He's been trying his best. Except we want
Okay.
an addition, maybe we can contact you. But there's
Yeah.
somebody who's been sacrificing a lot for us, and we appreciate his effort. Yeah, so he's been doing so well. Yeah,
That's awesome. But yeah, so I have a guy. He's the same guy that created the flyer and works on our graphics for the show as well. He's in Liberia.
okay,
So if you need
okay,
like
that's fine.
somebody who can work part time or work
Yeah,
and
yeah.
help the other guy, definitely I'll
Okay.
be glad to share his information.
No, no problem,
That's
bro. No problem. Yeah, yeah,
Of course, thank you. So another thing I wanted to talk about is the level of generosity. I remember the first time I met you, and I went with my team, and we planned on just trying to convince, because we're talking to different businesses and people to partner with us for our Olympics, and we had this
yeah,
whole plan to tell our story in a way. But when we got to you, I remember it was one of the easiest. I wouldn't even say a negotiation, because you just agreed and you was like, okay, yeah, how many do you guys need? And we didn't really have to explain ourselves. You just understood what we wanted to do, and you provided those jerseys for us. So why was it so easy for you to support our work?
yeah. Before even supporting the work, I understand the challenges. You didn't tell me all of the challenges along the way, what you experience with other people, but I know how challenging it is. Yeah, I've been in similar side when you have a dream or you have something and you want to see how people can support it. Not many people willing to support things people do. I understand that, and I don't want to be like others. I don't want to do what I experience, like refusing to help other people to get there. So sometimes it's not only about the the promotion I will get, the benefit, on spot benefit, like maybe promotion you're gonna give me. The platform may not be that big at that time to give me certain benefit if I get certain quantity of goods, but we have to help. We have to encourage other sports. We have to encourage other people to achieve their dreams. There are other people who helped me along the way. If people wouldn't have embraced our products or see our work as a good way to buy them, we would not be here today. Even though there are some other things we'll do, other people will do, people will not celebrate it or encourage it. But it's better that young people support each other. You had a good thought. There was nothing wrong about it. You only need people who will encourage you, who will support you, receive what you're doing, the idea, and see how we can all build it up. So what I could do from my end, the little I could do, that's what I did at that point. And that's what we do for many people many a times. We don't have much. We just a young brand. I just explained to you how things been step by step before going to China and getting here. So we don't have it, but the little we can with the little sponsorship or partnership with other entities is good too for their growth and for our growth. and for the betterment of the society. You were not doing that to get a cash for yourself. You were doing that to bring smile on someone's face. You were doing that to make other people happy, to bring relief to people. And those are things that I'm interested in. So it's easier for me to support those things.
Makes sense, my man. So speaking about your generosity, you also run the Gwan Foundation, which provides educational materials and services to students. So tell us, how did this idea came about? At what point in your business endeavors did you realize that, hey, I need to have a separate institution that will be responsible for the charitable side of things?
Uh, the Quans Foundation is older than the business.
Oh, really?
Yes, the Guans Foundation is older than the business. The Guans Foundation, like I said earlier on, I watched my parents how they live their life, how they impacted society. Many people they helped along the way when they were here, and growing up from there, so many things I learned. I learned those things, and I've not forgotten those things. And I grew up to similar way. So we had to put it on an umbrella or unique name. So came up with the Guans Foundation, and we've been doing other services around, but under the Guans Foundation 2018, we did one of our outreaches. We did so many things. We went out so many places in 2018. Proud to my trip out of Liberia for studies. And we visited schools, even the first school I attended, the New San Nicola Primary School. I attended that school, so I decided to visit there and give some stationery materials and other stuff. It's not about how much you have. You don't have to get much to be impact to the society. But even your story, your presence alone can help to motivate other people to make impact in their life. So I didn't have much at that point. Challenging time, struggling time, not even having my ticket money to go to China, but I still have to take the little I had to go and do those things for the kids. Those things were important at that moment. God sees our heart, He blesses us. So we've been doing all of those things along the way, step by step. So current is the business started later after the Guans Foundation, but I can actually tell you for now that even the business, the Guans Foundation is currently surviving on the business. We try to see what we can do some work, and most of our proceeds over the years can be diverted to the Guans Foundation for other humanitarian work, other humanitarian aid with scholarship, and some other stationary materials we can give to kids.
That's typically how it's done. Usually the business, the proceeds from there is donated, but that's awesome. And that's one way
Yeah,
to continuously remember that we have an obligation to give back to the people
sure,
and the society as a whole. So that's awesome
sure,
of you
sure.
doing good work. So one thing I
Yeah.
want to talk about is how patriotic you are. You're a very patriotic man. Wherever you go, you try to, raise the flag, the red, white, and blue, and show that you're proud to represent Liberia. And I have an image of you here that I want to put on the screen just to show that. And this is you recently in China. You remember that picture?
Yes, yeah. This place, when we went on campus in 2018, they have it has a lot of flags, some other African flags in other countries, countries that got students in school. So Liberian flag was there. When I went to receive my degree certificate and the graduation certificate, the administrators were in another building, not in that building anymore. And where we went, it only had the European flag, American flag, I think Chinese flag. I had to go and search for that particular building, search for my Liberian flag, and take picture with my Liberian flag because I'm proud of being a Liberian. And trust me, there's nowhere like home. I've been to few other places. I don't want to say much. I've been to few other African countries. I think 6 to 7 other African countries and other countries. They're so unique, unique culture and whatever, but it's nowhere like home. I'm always proud to be a Liberian. I'm always proud to come from Nimba County, not only a Liberian, and I don't mind anytime to live in Nimba County. And
Awesome,
you
my
gotta
man.
join us in Nimba County.
Awesome. I know I need to come and visit at least. Yeah, I need to come
Yes,
and visit. Liberia is not just Monrovia or Montserrat, so
sure,
for sure we
sure,
need to
sure,
come out
sure.
and see what else is going on in the country as a whole. So another
Exactly.
important thing, again, besides you being patriotic, you recently had a baby girl called Precious. So how has
Yes.
how has that changed you from the man that you were prior to having that girl to the man that you are now. What are your thoughts? How do you see life?
I think that's just a treasure for me. I appreciate her coming. It will change, maybe it will change some things. Honestly speaking, it will change some things, but it hasn't changed a whole lot. It's supposed to change things, but I was already in this realm of a father before this. It's my first child, but not trying to brag here, but there are so many people who look after. There's so many, like our Grants Foundation mostly focus on kids, though there are some adults benefiting from a scholarship. There are
Mhm.
some other kids in other schools that we trying to attend to with the little we can afford with scholarship and all other stationary materials. I'm from a very big family. My dad had many children. So some of them see me as their father, literally, even though some are even older than me and whatever. So it's been a family thing. I've been a family person. I've been someone who's been into responsibility before her coming. But it's just a unique thing for me to have my mother back with me because I named her Precious after my late mother. And I loved her so much. And I lost her 2017. So having her back with me after 6 years, yeah, I'm so happy to have her with me. I wanted this and I got it. So I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm so happy for her coming.
That's awesome, my man. So, in terms of legacy, from what you got from your parents and for your child, are you having those thoughts of what am I going to do for this girl? What legacy am I going to give her that she's going to be able to sustain herself after I'm gone? Are you having those thoughts yet?
There are so many plans. Yes,
Hmm.
some a lot won't be discussed. First of all, people who know me, they know me to be a private person. Yeah,
Okay.
most of my things I keep them to myself. Most of my things, and I just work with plan when I want to unveil to people, when I want to let people know I know. But I didn't want it. I didn't rush to get this. Uh, no disrespect to people who have kids at a very early age. They're not wrong. They have their own reasons, and some
Hmm.
things happen. But I have many friends who I'm even older than I had kids. I didn't rush to have this. I wanted this when I wanted it.
Oh, man. Looks like we just lost him. But, anyways, if you're
So
watching,
sorry.
this is
I'm
a
so
good
sorry. I had a
time
call
to.
me.
Hold on. He's back. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm getting you. Sorry, I had a call coming in.
No problem. No problem. Go ahead.
Yeah, so this is a unique time to have that. And we have many plans. I've planned so many things for her, and by the grace of God, it's all in God's hand, and by the grace of God, everything will be okay.
That's good, my man. It must be a really a proud moment for you, and I can imagine. I myself currently do not have any kids, but if I were to choose to have a kid, I would definitely do it when I get married, and I want it to be a girl. So I can only imagine how much of a blessing it is. Now, let's talk a little bit about closing up here. So, are you there? The camera it looks like it's freezing. All right, hold on. So yeah, if you're watching, this is a good time to follow the 1847 show. We have a lot of amazing content for you guys. We interview any Liberian, whether they're in Liberia, they're outside of Liberia, whether they're a musician, they're an entrepreneur, they're a pastor, they're in the government, whatever they are. If they're doing something amazing that makes our country proud, we're here to support them. So if you're interested in supporting Liberia, in supporting all things Liberia, please, please, please follow our page. We have a lot of beautiful content for you, and next week, especially, we have the 1847 game show,
Hello,
which is
are you
where we,
getting me?
play
I'm
games
trying to reconnect.
and have people win cash prizes. It's very entertaining, something you will love. So if you're interested in that, please go ahead and follow our page, and you will get notified whenever we go live. For now, our guest is having a bit of an internet issue. So we'll give him a few minutes here, and we'll take a little short break, and we'll be right back. So hang in there for us.
Hello, my name is Grace Baba from the Girls of Destiny Creative Organization and owner at Jaleesa Sweets. You are watching the 1847 show. The 1847 show celebrates you, me, and all things Liberian. Follow the 1847 show on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. The 1847 show, all things Liberian.
Hey, welcome back. So we have our guest here
I,
now. Can
I'm
you hear me
so
now?
sorry. I think I'm here. I think my viewers know my time I'm supposed to be up. They show. I think my time has reached, so they are now calling me because throughout the show yourself, nobody called me.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's after the time, so they are starting to call me. That's how busy I can be sometimes, but it's no problem. Yeah, we can wrap it up.
Yeah, we're almost pretty much done here. All I want to do is give you the time now, and I like to tell people this at the end: is imagine a younger version of yourself, the story that you've had from selling up to going to college, those challenges, and now to where you are with more to be achieved. Imagine that version of yourself. What message would you give to that younger version of yourself and to other young people that are like you, growing up? So the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. I knew things would be okay. There will be challenges. One good thing, my parents had a confidence in me. My father, my mother, even at a very early age, they had a confidence in me. I'm grateful for that. I think that motivated me a whole lot to the person I'm becoming. I'm not there yet. And with the experiences from childhood to present, some good and some horrible ones. But as life, all those things helped to make me the person I am, stronger person, which I'm grateful for. So I think it's just here to motivate other youth with the story and not trying to go offhand because there are many people you see in the street. When you ask them why are you in the street, why are you doing this and drugs and whatever, they will tell you they lost their parents, they did this and did that. But I'm here to tell you losing your parents got nothing to do with being a drugs addict. If it was so, I would have been in the ghetto because I lost my both parents. It's not an easy thing, especially how much I loved them and they loved me. I was so used to my dad. At a very early age, I grew up with my dad throughout. And when I lost him, the next person I looked up to was my mother. I got so used to her. And getting used to her and those things could lead me to being in the ghetto. That has nothing to do with you being in the ghetto, being a bad person and whatever. And I'm there to encourage every one of you. Make use of every opportunity you see, a better use of them. You don't have to see millions of dollars before you decide to be wise to make use of them. For business, I want to encourage everybody to, at least many, not everybody want to do business, but with whatever you do, have the business mind, keep focus. Where we are today and where we are going, we wouldn't have been here without the focus, the hard work, the determination. 2019, we started this with about 85 United States dollars. Today, we are doing a little we can afford to do with bigger things ahead. So don't overlook your humble beginning, your little beginning. That's what I respect every morning. Even if you have 20 for me, you have 10, you have 5 for me, I respect that. There were a customer before who had things for us. He took some things he was not paying. And when my brother contacted, he said, "Oh, all the money you're making, we're not making money. And even if you think we're making money, trust me,
You still
that
owe
is so
us.
important to us. Yeah, this is for us, and we need it for our growth. I respect every money for the fact 85 United States dollar can get me to where we are today. It tells you any money is important.
Hmm.
And when you want to grow, you have to get rid of so many things. You have to let go so many things, and this will be maybe another training for another time or another lecture for another time. But I always keep encouraging everybody, keep focused, and don't be distracted. There will be so many distractions. All of those things, the horrible experiences were distraction. Those are things that was meant maybe to lead me in astray, to make me do some bad things in society. But I didn't see it in that way because God made me for something, something else, something unique and better. So I have to keep focused and not be distracted by those things to lead me the other way.
Awesome, my man. Very, very wise words. Now, is there any other thing you would like to add before we let you go for today?
This is the election period. I'm not a politician. I don't have a political side in this election, but I will be here to encourage everybody. Choose your party of your choice. Respect other people's decision. Go out there peacefully and vote and come back home on Tuesday. Let us accept the result. Whoever wins, if the ruling party is re-elected, they will be our leader. If the opposition is fortunate to be elected, we will accept the result and we can all live here as one people happily together. There are bigger things ahead of us. There are bigger things to achieve aside from political affiliation, political interest because you want to get compensated with certain job. Liberia is bigger than every one of us. Have your political party, you right for that. Have your decision to make, respect others, and let's be peaceful in this electoral period.
Amen. Very much needed and very much powerful, my man. Thank you for saying that. And
You're welcome, bro.
I
Thank
did
you.
not have anything to add to that. That's exactly what we need. So for those of you watching, I hope you heard that. But thank you, my man. Thank you for accepting our invitation and for being on time, having good
You're welcome.
internet, having a good background, representing your brand. You check all the boxes, my man. I'm grateful for you.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
thank you for making this happen. Your story is
Thank
amazing.
you,
It's
bro.
one that we want
You,
to share. Yeah.
you're welcome anytime, many times. We still got many times to meet, bro.
Of
And I
course,
don't
of
mind
course.
coming on some other time on the platform also. Anytime, just let me know and I'll try to create time to be here.
Awesome. And we got many other ways that we'll work together for sure. And this is
Sure.
just, cementing that bond. But thank you for being on. And then for those of you that are watching, you've been watching the 1847 show, and I've been your host, Prince Lamin Jarbo. This was season 1, episode 19, which is part of our series called Entrepreneurship Essentials. This series is dedicated to unraveling the secrets of successful entrepreneurs by sharing real stories aimed at empowering young entrepreneurs to take actionable steps. To watch upcoming episodes, please don't forget to follow our show on social media. Until next time, stay safe. God bless you, and God bless Mama Liberia.
Hello, my name is Grace Baba, founder of Destiny Creative Organization and owner at Janine's Sweets. You are watching the 1847 show. The 1847 show celebrates you, me, and all things Liberian. Follow the 1847 show on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. The 1847 show, all things Liberian.